Welcome back to your reading with Wise Oracle of the Lights. 11:11. It's Brenda. Let's get right on to this reading without all that digressing and yada yada yadas. Welcome to the channel, those who are new, and those who are not new, welcome back. I did want to do a channeled reading, and I'm going to do it without using the cards, and so just look out for that reading. It's going to probably follow this reading, and it's going to be more for Divine Feminine. It's going to be from you, Divine Feminine, speaking through me to you, basically. It's a channeled reading that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it without the cards, so I just want you to be looking out for that one as well, okay? But this reading is going to be for the collective, and usually the collective turns out to be Divine Feminine. For those who do not know, I don't have my cards in reverse, but that does not mean that I don't see the card in reverse, given the cards around it, or the ones that might follow it, or the ones that come before it. I do intuitively see the card in a reverse, so just, you know, you may not see the card in reverse, but that does not mean that I don't see it that way. I don't have time limits on how long I do readings. I do readings as long as the messages are coming, or until my energy's like, I've had enough of it, we can't do it anymore, it's got me feeling some type of way, so I'll just shut the reading out. I also don't charge you for readings. I don't do personal readings. I feel like the collective reading gets really personal enough, so I prefer not to do a personal reading. I don't do extendeds. I do not charge for a thing. Nothing. I don't even have a lot of, you know, videos have the advertisements through it, but I feel like that's like a sponsor kind of thing, which I don't have that either. So, you know, everything's free here, y'all. Even if I had advertisements, I would never charge you guys for anything. It's always free. For me, I want to do this by helping people, and that understanding with helping people, especially in a reading like this, y'all, you shouldn't charge people for it, but there are people that will do it. My personal opinion is I don't feel like we should charge for charity work kind of stuff. It's kind of charity work here, y'all. It's, you know, so I don't feel like you should be charging for it, but that's me and my opinions. But if you want to pay for readings, for something you can get for free, then that's on you. It's fine with me. I'm just going to go ahead and get into the reading now. I have the Starseed Oracle deck. I do not actually do my shuffling like most shufflers or card readers would shuffle. I don't like to bend the deck, so just give it a few little, what you just saw, and I'm going to cut the deck as well, pulling out a couple of cards from the Starseed Oracle, seeing what energies are going to come out of it. Whales and Orca Elders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Oh ho 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 ho! And do y'all like that background? Kind of like an ocean scene, huh? Diving deep. What? That crazy. So this is why I want to do a reading, channeled reading for Divine Feminine, because I can relate a lot with the Divine Feminine, okay? And here's another, I mean, there's a lot of water stuff going on still. I mean, if you've seen your last reading, y'all, the Seas of Manteca, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to life. Divine Feminine. More of that water energy here. Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. This is an emotional thing, y'all, still. It's still with the water energy, still emotional. And you, Divine Feminine, I've said this about you a lot of times, a few times. Just your energy. Some people look at it as they look up to you, they admire you, but then there's that other toxic side of it that looks at you with this jealous, envious kind of stuff. And you just being in certain spots and other people's presence, you bring an enlightenment, like an activation. If I don't know anything about all this stuff going to retrograde, and you've already done a lot of this work, Divine Feminine, and a lot of people walking this planet aren't doing it. And they'll say they're spiritual, and there'll still be toxic stuff they're doing. Like, they'll say they're a spiritual person, but then there's still, even when it comes to smoking marijuana, and a lot of people get this card and say, well, it's legal, so I can wake up and smoke it all day long until I go to bed at night. No, there's still got to be a balance in things, and some people just don't get that. They don't get it. You, Divine Feminine, you get it. This is why you've walked away from a lot of stuff, with all that emotional stuff. Like, your attachment to things, you get really attached to stuff, and it's hard for you to walk away. I mean, it's gotten easier for you to walk away from things. This is why you've been single and in this hermit mode type, trying to heal your emotions, trying to heal your heart still. I don't think you actually have, maybe you go to work, go home, go to work, go home, and you don't really actually have some kind of fun like that. Make love to life, like it says here. And look what comes out again. Look at all this water, y'all. I mean, every card we're pulling out has this water energy. And this one here is the same one that came out on your last reading. Deep cellular healing, arterious energy, physical and emotional healing. Your emotions. You got the weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. It's another water, and lifting the veil, y'all. That's what you do. I mean, you're seeing past the veil. You have an understanding that a lot of people are not getting. A lot of people, even if they're saying they're spiritual, they're not getting this understanding that you have, Divine Feminine. And I say Divine Feminine like it's all Divine Feminine. And this particular Divine Feminine isn't just a Divine Feminine. She is an ascended master, and they talk about this 3D, 5D stuff. Like, don't you know that space out there is infinite? It's an infinite amount of dimensions, and I would think 3D is third dimension and 5D is fifth dimension. But how do you know this? If it's infinite, how do you know if we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And then you've only got 3 and 5. What about the umpteen million other dimensions that might be out there? I mean, we've been through all of them, y'all. We get reborn over and over and over and over and over, depending on your karmic lessons. When you pass on, that's where it takes you to your next life, and you get reborn there. And you want to ascend, and this Divine Feminine, who is an ascendant master, gets that when you come out of this, you want to ascend into your next life in a higher dimension. You want to be reborn there. You don't want to descend. And a lot of people aren't getting the ascension thing, I don't believe. I mean, I guess it's an opinion. I don't know, y'all, but this particular Divine Feminine Ascendant Master understands what I'm talking about. They're not religion. They're not about religious and Jesus. And, I mean, if they believe anything about Jesus, they understand that Jesus was spiritual. He was probably an Ascendant Master himself. And they take the stories and they twist and turn it. So a lot of these people walking the planet today stay delusional and stuck in lower dimensional stuff. So, I mean, it's hard to explain, and I can't even it's hard to explain it. You can't explain something like this. This is not something you can explain the way the universe works out there. You can't explain this. It's a power and a brilliance that we could possibly never understand, no matter how high of a dimension you might actually live in, no matter how much smart you get. I don't think if anything's, I don't understand how, if you think, no, understand you can't get next to the sun, how do you feel like you're going to get next to what God might be? I mean, but they're trying to figure that out. And this Divine Feminine Ascendant Master gets the reincarnating, the rebirthing, and the ascension thing, and that there's only, so much that we can understand, even in the higher dimensions. They're still looking at this where'd we come from kind of thing. This Divine Feminine knows the mind-boggling stuff that it might be going on out there in the universe, but they also get a very clear understanding that you don't understand it all. You can't possibly. And the fact that there are actual people who have actual educations and degrees and all of this believe they're going to figure this out. They're going to be able to give you these answers. That's what they're saying. That is exactly what they're saying. Hold on, just a little longer. We're almost there. We almost got the answers for you guys. I start to digress a little bit, y'all. But I mean, I feel like it has a point. Especially if, this is the Divine Feminine Ascendant Master Divine Feminine. Like with religion. How can you believe something? Let's go with the Catholic Church and Vatican. Those people who lock away secrets. I tend to not believe people who keep secrets from me, but okay. Y'all go ahead, keep believing the Vatican and the Catholic Church and all of that, because they lock secrets away from you, and you're okay with it. You're just fine and dandy with that, aren't you? Nothing to see here, huh? No. But you still... See? I get very opinionated, y'all, and I go digressing. You might call it digressing, but I see a point to it. She is definitely... See? This is why Divine Feminine, Divine Feminine Energy Ascendant Master, this is why she's going to get lost. And here's the moon. Okay, we're going to go with this, because this is what this Divine Feminine is doing. She's manifesting and planting and growing, and now she's able to pick it because she keeps walking away. There's the water energy again. And we have this moon with the deception, but seeing all these other cards, we're going to go ahead and put it in reverse, because the only thing I feel like the Divine Feminine would be in secret about is her emotional healing process. Like, she goes around to the world with this really happy-go-lucky energy, but on the inside, it's kind of like the movie Titanic, where she talked about standing on this whatever, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs, and nobody looks up. But this is how it is for the Divine Feminine. She's kind of feeling like that. Like, this is two different card decks. Doesn't it look like the exact same? See, this is why I feel like resonating with Divine Feminine. I resonate with this Divine Feminine an awful lot. Dark complexion, dark hair, whether you're... I mean, it looks like the exact same, and it's not, y'all. It's two different decks. I mean, whatever this is the Divine Feminine's working on, it's been a long road, and she's almost to the point where she just wants to throw her hands up, but she never does. She never does. She keeps pushing forward. She keeps walking away from things, and look, this walking away, and then you got this one where her back is, but she's good. She's good. She's happy. She's walking into the right path, y'all. I feel like maybe this divine feminine thinks she's on the wrong path. No? Should I have made this choice to do what I've done and end up here? But you've been doing, divine feminine, you're not making the wrong choices. You're not. You cannot see it, but you're making the right choices. You're not toxic. That's why, just like in your last reading for Divine Feminine, I don't feel like Divine Feminine even is drinking, or anything like that, because you're not toxic. And if you do, it might be once in a blue moon kind of thing. Maybe you are a person who smokes the marijuana, but you're not somebody who spends your life dependent on it. You understand you have responsibilities. And every time I read for Divine Feminine, all the cards, they're always just one individual. One individual. One individual. One. But look at this one. See him in the background? And you definitely don't pay attention to that. You don't. You're not. You got so many admirers, Divine Feminine. It's ridiculous. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You're probably looking at this reading right now thinking, nah, she ain't talking about, but I probably am Divine Feminine. Because you doubt yourself. I don't know if you're so much as doubting. I don't think you realize how strong you are, You need, you're part of, look, this one's out there, the Lifting the Veil card. Star family, you're part of a team of souls, calling support. Like you feel like you need your soul family. And I'm almost on the understanding here, Divine Feminine, Ascendant Master. If this is the case, you are an Ascendant Master. You've ascended many, many times. I'm almost going to say your soul family is not even here. Your soul family's in another dimension. Because you come back here to lift the veil for people. I mean, how could you possibly understand some of these things, Divine Feminine? How could you possibly understand this? Where's it coming from? Because you came here as a healer. And when I say healer, I don't mean like you're putting your hands on people and curing cancer. You're a healer by activating them and getting them to understand that this is not all there is. They're afraid to die. They're afraid of what's going to happen next. And you don't have to be afraid, even if you're not ascending. The more you're afraid, the more it keeps you stuck. And you're not able to ascend. And the more you stay in the physical meat suit, the more you refuse and think that when you pass on, oh my God, I'm going to leave everybody, I'm going to leave all my materialistic stuff, and there's going to be no more, and this is not the case, y'all. It's not. I mean, in these cards, I see a lot of her back, too. Divine Feminine does not care about turning her back on anything at this point. Like it was a lot harder for you back in the days, but today, Divine Feminine, you're cutting stuff off the first red flag, and it's like a half a red flag. You're like, that's looking like a red flag. I'm not sure if it's a red flag, but it looks like it might be. So bye. Yeah. I'm gonna show you this one because this one's always about the decision making, and this one, out in that gazing like wonder type stuff, like is this my life kind of stuff, and then you have this one, which I'm only understanding obviously is not right side up, it's gonna be in reverse. I'm not sure if there's a decision you're trying to make or if there's a decision you should be making, but we're back on this decision thing for you, Divine Feminine. And I'm almost seeing these cards like this one's trying to make a decision on you, Divine Feminine, but you're got your gaze out the window because you and your back is here because you don't see it. And it's not that you don't care. You just focus more on your peace and your own emotional healing. Like, you understand that this has to be healed before you can even think about that. You don't want to go into something broken. You get that. Whereas whoever this is broken. There's still a lot of water energy going on here. Somebody's, I mean, I feel like if the moon is right side up here, you're still wounded by something, Divine Feminine. This is why you continue to do what you're doing. There's nostalgia. Reminiscing. I mean, this is why I say this is and I'm not sure if it's divine masculine or if this is just another toxic masculine, y'all, because you've had it all. But you've never actually gotten to connect with divine masculine like this. Y'all just, because while you're doing your thing, being carefree, basically, and yeah, I keep saying, there's a hurt with you, and I feel like your emotional healing still, you need still to do that. You need to have more fun in life. You need to get out and have more fun, do some fun things, not just sitting at home and going to work. And you might think coming home and sitting around, but you're not doing really nothing because you're so afraid of getting this attachment to other things. So you just stay detached from everything, and this is not okay, Divine Feminine. But then you got this masculine, and I'm just gonna say masculine because I can't see if it's divine masculine, or because we all, each and every one of us, are divine. Every one of us. And then we come into this and we get into the meat suit and we have the human emotion and the flesh temptation kind of stuff, and that's what we start focusing on throughout your life. And now you feel like this is who you are, this meat suit is who you are, and that's not the case. They say only a rare few of us are starseeds, and that is not the case. None of us are more special than the next. We've all come from the exact same spot, just some of us are instead of ascending, they keep descending. They keep getting reborn in this lower dimensional crap, so they get staying stuck. And staying stuck in it. This is what keeps you stuck and not ascending into a higher dimension. You stay stuck in the meat suit. You stay stuck in the flesh. You feel like you have to there's with this masculine, there's no soul growth. It's just materialistic stuff, flesh satisfying flesh stuff, materialistic. And this is not what we are. We're spiritual beings experiencing this. You know, we have to, live here. We are here. And we are here, so we should have a house. We should have some money. It's the way this dimension and this planet works, like this. But people become too attached to it. This is what keeps you stuck. It's black and white horses too, because he's on the moon. Well, this one's wolves, but it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit of the same energy. This is very impulsive. You want to get the Nine of Pentacles, here's an Eight of Pentacles, and here's your Star again. You're always getting the same cards. Here's the King. There's definitely, for you, Divine Feminine, there's definitely, and I'm not saying that this is an actual thing that a person's actually going to do, but they are definitely thinking about this an awful fucking lot. I mean, they show up in your reading constantly, and I feel like for you, Divine Feminine, you're not thinking about that kind of stuff because this is what you're doing. You're gazing out the window. You're not even paying attention to this person trying to make decisions about you. You're getting nostalgia. Maybe you had an actual connection with this person, and now they're looking at you like the star, where they weren't looking at you this way before. And you definitely have your back on it, and you cut that cord. But this person's, whoever this masculine is, I always have the Tower. I don't like the Tower. I don't like the Tower, y'all. Especially at them, because you got King of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the Hierophant, Ten of Cups, and I'm going to assume that the Ten of Cups is in reverse, because this person isn't, whoever this masculine is, they don't have Ten of Cups. They feel in this stuck energy with this Tower moment. The Tower, everything comes crashing down, y'all. This person, and in some ways, Divine Feminine, you could bring a lot of Tower moments for yourself. And I want to say self-sabotaging kind of stuff, because even though you've had an enlightenment, I think You know, even though we shouldn't let people walk all over us, sometimes we have to choose our battles. And like, say for example, if this is at a job and an employee or even a manager type gets sideways with you, you will literally tell them where to get off at and get fired. But I understand, but don't know if y'all heard that. That was a dryer buzzer. um, you just need to stay a little more cool, calm, and collected. Walking a little slower. I feel like you're good. You are good. I mean, you have an understanding that a lot of people don't have. And even though you might act impulsively in some things, you're not a violent person. You're not toxic. Wherever it is you're at is exactly where it's supposed to be because that's where you're at. And you would know this by, I mean, you seem like you're content. You seem like it's whatever you might have been going through, it's a lot easier to deal with. Like, you don't feel like, I don't feel like you're, I mean, a lot of people who have gone through what you've gone through, Divine Feminine, would not be standing as proud, like, this strong and with your head held high. Like, you're just, a lot of people would be pouring back the 40s and being all toxic. And this is not you, Divine Feminine. I don't know what else to say in the reading. I don't want to keep having the same readings over and over, but you are clearly still trying to heal yourself. Clearly still stuck in that hermit mode. You don't get out much. You're not having any kind of fun. Like, there's no fun here. Look at the lovers coming out. This not cute. Because you have this all around you. Like, it's all around you, Divine Feminine, but this is, you're so strong and independent kind of stuff. It's like they're intimidated if this is the case. But this is you. Like, you're just in this kind of energy. Like, you just don't want to see all of that. You don't want to hear it. You're too busy doing your own little thing, and you're always in hermit mode. You're always reclusive, and you don't have any idea. No idea. I mean, you might have an idea, but at this point, and in the last few readings, but you're looking all impressive to whoever this is, and there's justice and everything. Like, the justice is coming out, and this guy is in his head, constantly in his head, looking at you. And I say you're not having, you go to work and you go home and you're not really having fun, like, but this is how they're seeing you. Like, you're out there having a time of your life here, off with other people. You must have a group of friends, this, that, and another, and you're not doing anything like that. But this is how this person's seeing you. Like, your struggles are your struggles. You're not, no one's getting you out of these struggles. No one's taking you out of your struggles, Divine Feminine. But this person's looking at it like that's the case. Like you have some sort of silver spoon in your mouth. Like, how can your luck is, and it's not your luck, it's your karma, because you've done all the work you need to do, and this is not even, I mean, if they see you like this right now, when you really start to see it for yourself, what I'm seeing here that's coming for you on the good karma side, this person's looking at you like they're looking at you now, but once you finally get that good karma coming towards you, I mean, they're way down here at this point. You're like up here. They got to catch up to you. And once your karma comes back to you, your good karma comes back to you, you're going to be up again. And they're still trying to catch up because they're delusional. They're delusional. And here's the wheel again. They're delusional, y'all. I can say delusional. I don't know what else kind of word to use for it because they've already understood what they needed to say. They've already lifted the veil. They've already cut cords. They've already turned their back. But then they have that doubt. They're still toxic, still stuck in the karmic loop of their toxic stuff. You're on the opposite side of this. Like, they're getting their bad karma. The karma's coming back around. And all the good you did, it's coming back around. So your good karma's coming back to you. And their shitty karma's coming back to them. I don't know how to explain this. While you keep ascending, they keep descending. Staying toxic, stuck in their head, with no justice, looking for love. And you are the love with all their tower moments. You're the love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. And I feel like this particular masculine energy is looking for a physical thing. They understand a little bit about the spiritual connection, but they're not in any connection that's being spiritual. They're not. They're all about the flesh. You're spiritual. You're all about the spiritual stuff. You're an unconditional love kind of person. You're not looking to be in this for materialistic gain. That's not what you're looking for. But that's what they're looking for. That's why they stay stuck in it, because they got all that materialistic gain crap. At least in their mind they do. Even if they have a house, it's just a house, y'all. It's a house. You don't get love from the house. This is the kind of connection that should be going on here. It's spiritual. There's balance here. You, Divine Feminine, are a balance of masculine and feminine energies. And this masculine should also be a balance of the divine and masculine. The feminine and masculine energies. And you two being a balance of both of those energies coming together, balanced together, you become the divine feminine to his divine masculine. And we're all divine. And even though I'm just saying that this person's a masculine, he's still divine. Even if he's a toxic masculine, he is divine. But he's stuck in that lower dimensional crap. And he keeps having these tower moments. Still looking at you. Yeah, it's the only way that this is going to work with you, Divine Feminine. That this masculine's actually, because he's constantly thinking about walking away from that materialistic crap. And it's hard for me to sit here and say, sleepless nights, it's hard for me to sit here and say if this is one Divine Masculine or another, because this is you, Divine Feminine. There's many that look at you like this, and I know it's hard to understand this, but you have many energies that look at you. Even in the feminine energy, they're still looking at you. But you have divine masculine, you have masculine, toxic masculine, you have divine feminine, you have feminine, and you have toxic feminine, all looking at you. All of them. All of it. So it's hard for me to pinpoint a specific one here. Only you know your situation. So I can't say for sure if you've actually had this connection, but I feel like you might have. And then in this connection, there could be a um, one a lighter complected person and the other is a darker complected person. You know, the shades of your skin could be different. So if you're two white people, I'm not saying that this isn't the case, but more so that this divine feminine's not completely fair skinned. She's very of a darker complexion. And I feel like he, the masculine, is more the lighter one. And so you got a lot of emotions coming on you. And for me, it's hard to see if it's because you do. You're a very emotional divine feminine. Like, you're very sensitive. Very sensitive. You've been hurt so many times. You've had to walk away from things so many times. But there's a lot of emotions that there is, we're gonna say one, but there could be many of them, y'all, looking at you with all of this energy, definitely, and wanting to walk away from all their stuff. They want to give you justice, maybe, you know, apologize, and you're like, and I feel like maybe they think that in order to get out of their karmic cycle, they have to make it right with you, but what? Are you doing that? This could be necessarily the case. In order for them to get out of their cycle, they can't just come to you and think that they can just say, I'm sorry, or they have to cut those cords wherever it is they're at. Whatever they're in is not. That's what's keeping them stuck. They can come to you all day long and apologize all day long if they want, but they keep the cords connected. It's like this person keeps their options open. Like, if you say no, then I've still got this to go back to, and they should not be doing that. They should cut the cord, regardless of what you may or may not do. They know that wherever it is, all they're doing is getting this kind of stuff. They know this, so they stay anyway, because they don't know. But you know what you're dealing with. You know why you're stuck in this karmic cycle. And it's not because of divine feminine. It's because of where you're staying stuck at. You're looking at divine feminine all the time like she's the problem, and she's not. Alright, I'm going to try to get a couple more cards. I mean, this person's still all unbalanced. I mean, he's running. There's nobody on the bike. What's he chasing after? The crow? You got the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the King of Swords. We've already got the Queen of Swords out. This is you, though, Divine Feminine. Like, you're a balance of both of these energies. And look how they're looking at each other. But there's this hopelessness. And then you got the Four of Wands, which is, Four of Wands is a little bit of a commitment, 11-11 kind of thing for me. And then when I look at it this way, it goes in another direction. Well, she really isn't looking at him at all. But this is like, on your part, Divine Feminine, you're a balance of all of them. Like, there's a King of Pentacles, there's a Queen of Pentacles, there's a King of Swords, there's a King of Swords. Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. The Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. You're a balance of all of these energies. That's what makes you Divine Feminine. This is why we're getting all of these coming out. We've seen the Queen of Pentacles and we've seen the King of Pentacles. Now we're having the swords coming out. This is you, Divine. You're a balance of all of these energies. But I feel like, in some sense, you do have a little too much of that masculine energy for yourself, because you're so used to doing it by yourself. You're so used to being strong. I mean, who else is going to be your protector? Who else is going to do this for you, Divine Feminine, if you don't do this for yourself? This is how you feel. Who else is going to do this for me if I don't do it for myself? I'm about to get my feelings, y'all. I feel like I'm about to start crying here. Because this is sad for the Divine Feminine. I have to feel this way still. And this is not what Divine Feminine would ever do to anybody else, but they think they have the right to do it to her, and they don't. Divine Feminine does not deserve this, and she doesn't need your pentacle, because the universe is about to hand her a gift. And pentacle, some people may take that as money, but it's not about money. This is about abundance. And when I say abundance, I don't mean money. Abundance is love, money, stability, peace. It's all rolled into one. That's the whole definition of abundance. It's not just about one thing. This Divine Feminine is about to be. And this is coming, and like I said, from all the good that she has done, and her karma is coming back to her because of what she's done. And this is the case for anybody. You get what you give. And this is Divine Feminine deserves this. She does. She deserves this kind of stuff. She does. She's not going to get that from the masculine over here, because he's too busy staying stuck in his flesh. She's... Look, I'm going to show you something. So I'm telling you, the universe is giving her a gift, and she's accepting the gift, and she's even got her tongue out like, ha-dee-da-dee-da, and then he's like, really? Now I really want it. Because they're looking at you with all your good karma, and they think that because of that they can do what they're doing and come in and get some of your karma. Stuff they didn't even work on. That no only understanding at this point that this is a toxic masculine. Because he's actually thinking that he's going to come to you and get some of your good karma and not have to put in the work. This person's probably never put in the work. They probably get in any relationship because of the physical stuff they might get from that, the materialistic, trying to take on their karma, the good stuff that they might be getting, and they're not trying to do the work. They're not. I mean, look at it. Look at this. The universe is about to give you something really good, and you're like, thanks. You're accepting it. You had to cut that cord, and I really feel like you've done that. I feel like you cut that cord, and this gift wasn't for you to be sharing with anybody. You had to realize that maybe it is meant for you to stay single for the rest of your life. Because whatever this gift is coming from, your karma, this good stuff, this person does not deserve it. I don't even think any of these masculines deserve it. They're too stuck in their meat suit. I keep calling the body, your physical body, the meat suit, because it's basically what it is, y'all. What else? How else would you describe it? Your avatar? I don't even know what else to say on this reading, because I see this and all I can say is you're so balanced and grounded. I don't even think if you know people are crossing you wrong that you are going to that point. You say what you have to say and you move on. Your words cut like a knife. You got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords out here. Your words cut deep. You don't need all that materialistic stuff to hurt people. You got a mouth. And when you say certain things, it makes people look at it like, they're like, wait, really? Is this what's really going on here? I never saw it this way before, so now they're starting to think about it. It might take some people a little bit longer, but you are activating a lot of energies around you, Divine Feminine, whether you understand it or not, you are. But I don't feel like this Divine Feminine doesn't understand it. I feel like she does. She's an Ascended Master. And if you don't understand what I say when I say Divine Feminine Ascended Master, then you are not an Ascended Master. You might just be a Divine Feminine. And when I say Divine Feminine, I mean you are not a toxic feminine. You don't stay stuck in the drugs. You don't stay stuck dwelling in the meat suit. But you're not one who's ascended many, many, many times. You stay, and maybe it's just a level of where you've ascended to. This Ascended Master, Divine Feminine, has ascended it blows me out of the water. You know, if there's an actual dimension that the highest dimension you could possibly be reborn in, I feel like that's where this Divine Feminine has actually been. She's been reborn in that higher dimension stuff, and a lot of people are not going to get it because they have not. They stay stuck. They stay stuck. A lot of them probably still believe in a Bible kind of thing and believe that YOLO, you only live once. What? It's an infinite universe out there. Why would you think you've only lived in one time? Like, where do you think you're coming from? And what happens when you know, leave this life? I guess. I mean, this is what happens. You come out of the meat suit, and you go through portals, and your karma takes you to whatever dimension you're going to be reborn in. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, look at you, baby. That's that ascension stuff. That's that download. That's the enlightenment. This is the activation. Someone, and I cannot say this is you, Divine Feminine, because you've already gotten this. You've already had that. Now, can I say you're sitting here and don't have any more, let me find my wheel. Can I sit here and say that you don't have any more of these, where'd it go, y'all? The karmic wheel stuff? Of course you do. You're learning lessons every day. You are. This card says Earth. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I mean, blowing my mind, y'all. A new Earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. you've had a lot of this already happen for you, Divine Feminine. This is about the energies you dealt with throughout all of this. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be relationships of any kind. They are having these activations after they've watched you go through it, looking at you like you're a crazy psycho, and now they're getting it. But they're still stuck in their head doing this. Should I go up to this Divine Feminine and tell them what I'm understanding and see if I'm wrong? They're not sure. How did that card get there, y'all? How in the heck did that get there? Oh, maybe I put it there. Because here's him again. That's crazy, y'all. But yeah. I feel like even though you had a lot of this past energy stuff happening still in your readings, there is a new one. Like I keep saying, you've done the work. Divine Feminine, you continue to do the work. You've done nothing but good. You've always had pure intent. And the cycle comes back around for you. You're not always going to have this shit kind of luck. You're not. They will. It just appeared the way it did because of where you kept putting yourself. So it made you collect their karma and make you feel like, what did I do in life to deserve all of this? And you didn't do anything to deserve this besides making decisions to stay stuck in something you knew was toxic the whole time. And when you realized that you cut the cord, you moved away, you got something coming for you. You continue to do this healing. Even though you may not be completely healed, and clearly there are still wounds here, and you still have a lot of distrust in people, and you don't distrust the universe. That's where your trust is, and that's what you need to be doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Knowing that empty feeling, this homesickness kind of thing, like, you just want to, and I don't want to sit here and say you just want to fall into somebody's arms and let them catch you kind of thing, but in a sense, that's what you want to do. And the only person that's ever been there to catch you has been you. But the universe is catching you, baby. The universe is definitely catching you. And it's got something beautiful for you, Divine Feminine, and you know this. You feeling it. You already know what you did or didn't do. Even if you made some wrong decisions, not based on staying in things like this, but just saying, like, you've done some toxic things, knowing that it was not a good idea, but you did it anyway. And then you accepted the consequence that happened, and you gave yourself forgiveness, and you moved away from it, and you don't do it. You don't. Let's say, like, I'm going to use an example of you going to the store, and you know how Walmart does this thing where you're scanning your items yourself, or a lot of people will scan something and then over the scanner passing items at the same time without actually paying for it, and it keeps, but they get caught. So let's say they get caught. Some people will continue to do it. Even though they get caught, they're going to continue to do it. You got caught, you're like, you break down, you're like, I know I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong. I would never do it again. This is not, you don't, this is how you are, Divine Feminine. And you turn away from it. So your karma, it always comes back to you. You understand that whatever you did that was toxic and brought that bad karma into you in that moment, you turn your back on it, you walk away from it, and you start doing the right thing. This is what you do. And I don't even know. This is what you do, Divine Feminine. You might even get into situations today where you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to think everybody's this toxic energy. But Divine Feminine, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. Even if they're, you know, you still stay on guard with it. You do. You don't let your guards down no more. You pay attention to red flags. And you walk away. You may not, you know, a lot of things like you may not walk away from it. You might need a little time. Like say in your living situation, if you realize your living situation is exactly, gonna work out, then you're gonna start putting your ducks in a row so you can move away from it. At least, but you're still putting your ducks in a row, so you're working on getting out of that, and you continuously do this. I mean, look at her. She's always working through the cycles. I mean, that's all I see is cycles and circles and cycles and circles and cycles and circles and cycle and circles, cycles and circles. I mean, it's everywhere. And you always ascending through the portal into a higher dimension. Because you don't stay stuck in that karma. And staying stuck in it is what keeps you descending and keep having to live the lessons over and over and over and over. You don't want to do this anymore. You want a different life here. You don't want this stuff. I mean, you do want it. Don't get me wrong. You want the love. Who doesn't? But you're not focused on that. That's not what your focus is. Your focus is still your peace and stability, your foundation. And you're always focused on going in the right direction. You're not focused on that negative stuff. You're not. That negative stuff is focused on you. And I think that's why you keep yourself a little more distracted. I feel like, let's say like, just going out, because you're not keeping very many friends. I don't see you having a group of friends here, Divine Feminine. So it's not like if you go out, you're going to go out and hang out with your friends. But it's even like if you go on to work at a job, you still walk on kind of like an eggshell thing because you're afraid of this kind of stuff coming towards you. But then when it comes towards you, it ends up like this, and you're like, well, that's a waste of time. So even if this Mr. Right was coming along here, you're like, it's hard to say, huh? Alright, I'm looking at the time on this video. I hate when it gets to an hour or more, so I'm going to try to pull another card or two and just close out the reading, y'all. The Judgment, another card or two. You're just so focused on keeping your grounding, your stability, and the Judgment coming out says it's your turn. The karma, the wheel is spinning. It's coming, the good karma that you kept giving and giving and giving and getting nothing in return. Now it's your turn. You're about to get, and you're not going to have to give anything in return. Because that's the way it should be. You kept giving to this, and this, and getting nothing out of it. This is your judgment. This is your justice. Your justice is out already in here, too. Y'all know we saw it amongst all of these cards here. There has been judgment here. You're done. You've made your decision. Even if this person, whoever you're gonna know. You're gonna know. You're gonna know who, if they're coming to you. And I'm not liking what I just see here. It's like he's, sitting cool, calm, and collected, but then he's got that knife kind of like, I don't feel like he's coming in. If he's coming in, he ain't coming in cutting cords. He's coming over here trying to take some of your karma, your good stuff. And it's almost like he done stabbed the owl, and the owl's hanging out like And that's you, wise owl, divine feminine. And no, see, I don't like him. I don't like, he's obviously the toxic masculine. But there's also this newer stuff coming in. And I feel like that's where you're going to have a problem. This other stuff, you've already cut the cords to that. That's not even a problem to you. But this new stuff, because you've been single for so long, divine feminine, and everything you've been putting up with, you've put up with, it's kind of hard for you to just say, I can give that commitment. Because look, this is like a commitment card here, and who's on top of the... It's hard for you now, divine feminine. You're too busy keeping your balance and staying grounded and holding your peace, your abundance, and you holding that tight. You're not giving it up for nobody. Even if this was the case, that this newer energy is coming toward you with this commitment, you're still gonna be like, it's gonna take a minute. This person's gonna have to really prove to you, and they're going to have to be strong coming towards you, because you're going to be pushing this away. You're going to be pushing this away, and they're not going to be able to take no for an answer kind of thing. They're not just, when you say no or push them away and they go in that other direction, you're going to be like, but I don't feel like this is going to be the case. I don't think this person's going to take no for an answer. And I feel like that's what's going to scare you, because you've never seen this before, so you feel like he's a player. You feel like he's lying. There's nobody this romantic. There's nobody this committed in a relationship. I've never seen it before. I mean, you have seen it before, though, divine feminine. You see it in yourself every day. So clearly there's a masculine, divine masculine with the same kind of energy as you got. It's rare. It is rare. This is definitely an ascendant master divine masculine, if he's going to be that committed in this. And that's exactly what he's going to be. But it's going to be hard for you to... It's going to be hard for you to trust it. It's going to be hard for you. You would want to tippy-toe through it. You might have him walking on that tight rope. I don't think it's anybody that's just going to give up on you, divine feminine, because they're going to see you. I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading, y'all, because I don't know what else to say here. I hope some of you have gotten anything out of it, and if you have, please do like the video, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who have been here through the entire thing, the reading, as well as through my entire channel. I know for me, it's been back and forth, ups and downs, and I'm just glad that the ones who have stuck it out with me through this entire thing have still stayed stuck in this. But don't stay stuck in it. Get you some balance. Make sure you have other card readers that you listen to and not just the one. And hopefully you're not paying for readings. I would hate to think that anyone has to pay for a reading to get something from a free reading. And no matter how much a person tells you that if you pay for this reading, I can give you the answers you're looking for, that's a lie. They're not going to be able to tell you anything with certainty. So if you're paying for that guarantee, you're toxic and you're staying stuck in the meat suit. Don't do that. Don't pay for these readings, y'all. Don't pay for them. You don't have to. Okay? I would hope you're not paying for them. You don't have to. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna exit out of this reading and tell you peace, love, and light. And namaste.